can or you can't, then you're right. Which is why I read until the middle of the night. I struggled in the past, but now I've seen the light, and I'm gonna stay positive despite all these people that wanna start a fight. Cause a troublemaker has never been my type, but I'm still quick to end that hype with a right. I'm always making movements towards a better life, and success never comes by carrying a knife. It comes from never stopping through the pain and the strife. So when it gets hard, don't let your legs buckle. Eyes on the prize when you can sense trouble. Never stop growing, let alone trying. Nah bro, never stop trying. Life is a chance, you'll be laughing from the start. Yeah, like problems when you're skanking in the dark. Kaizen is the way of life, it's hanging up my arm. So what's the big chance to get it right with my arm? The raw, people be fucking up their whole life.
Welcome to the next episode of Successful Conversations. Kaizen means continuous self-improvement in Japanese, and by making small incremental steps towards your goal, you can achieve great things. My next guest is a true embracer of Kaizen and is making major moves in different fields. So please welcome the inspirational, the multi-talented Lewis Murray.
Jeez. Get used to hearing that. A few more times.
Yes, great having you on the show.
Yeah, definitely the follow-up interview.
Yeah, we met before at the Heads Up Business Expo. And as you said, you got great feedback.
Yeah, definitely.
Knocking out the park with the questions.
Yeah, so I don't know where the answers were coming from. Somewhere in the head. So when you're passionate about something, you can speak about it for hours. I think we stood out that day because of sort of our enthusiasm and stuff like that. I think a lot of the other people, I don't know what you thought, seemed like they were angry to be there or didn't want to be there.
Yeah, there's a difference. Like there's some people who are passionate about their business,
or just in it for the money or whatever.
You was up to show your business and show what you're about.
Yeah, definitely.
And I had to get you in a more in-depth interview because, as I said, you're multi-talented, a lot of fields. It's not just in the last interview that we did, it was about the Kaizen Studios, but there's many things that you do.
Yeah, most definitely.
So we'll come on to the other things that you do later on.
Yeah, perfect.
But yeah, so can you tell the audience about what you do, the different stuff?
Well, basically, I'll break it down into probably 3 or 4 things really, but I'm quite an active person. So I've got the design and marketing agency, I've got my motivational music that I do, I've got my gym and my boxing that I do as well, and then I'm sort of like an avid reader and stuff like that. So when I've got my head in a book, I'll be at the gym or boxing, or making music, or working with clients, or doing a million and one things basically, all in the name of improvement basically in Kaizen.
Yeah. So in the name of Kaizen, so your company is called Kaizen Studios?
I've named my company Kaizen, yeah, definitely.
And on your website, you've worked with big companies.
Yeah, we've worked with some big companies,
was it
Microsoft and a few other people like that, yeah.
So you're making major waves with your company.
We definitely try.
So can you tell us what you do in the Kaizen Studios?
Well, Kaizen Studio is a design and marketing agency which is full service, so we've got a few different people working for us, which means that we can do anything design and marketing wise, whether that be websites to videos all the way through to full marketing plans and stuff like that. But we like to be a bit different from other design agencies that are just take people's money off them for a website for a quick turnaround. We want to help other people grow into their long-term vision because we're in this for the long term now. So we're looking to build powerful partnerships with people who we can grow with, share our connections and relationships, and likewise with them. And I think over time that's going to massively benefit us basically. Because from the start we were struggling to get business at first, but then anyone who we've worked with has then gone on to be a loyal client and recommend us on. So we're just going to keep sticking by the Kaizen, like I say, the continuous improvement, and just keep taking them chips away, and no limits to where it can go really. That's the way we're looking at it.
So do you feel that separates you from the competition, having that longevity in relationship with your clients?
Most definitely, yeah, because I think a lot of people, before they give money out, want to know how it's going to benefit them in the long term. And I think a lot of people in our industry are sort of sending people on the way with a website or a flyer or something like that just for the sake of giving it them. Whereas, like I said, we look at someone's long-term goals, their big vision, say, well, what we're going to give you, how will you get to that? And then we start having them sort of conversations with people and they realise, oh, this is actually a serious thing for the long term, and they start to take it a lot more serious then. But I think a big issue for us is educating people on the importance of the design and marketing. People think it's just do it for the sake of it, but it's not. It's actually very fundamental in a business's success to have their branding and all their marketing stuff down, basically.
Why would you say it's fundamental? What can having you, why is a company hiring you to do their design and marketing?
Yeah.
How can that benefit the company?
Yeah, well, we take a look at everything to do with their visions, their values, what they stand for and everything like that, and help them create a very powerful offering, rather than a lot of businesses are just looking at what their competitor provides and trying to knock a bit off the price.
Yeah.
Whereas we're saying, create this long-term vision, what makes you different, how can you provide something brilliant for your customer that, like I say, then recommends them on. We try and get people to take on our ethos of providing that brilliant value, and people are going to recommend you on. I think that sort of kicks people out of that comfort zone and just thinking, I've just got a bob on, I've got a bob on. They can actually have them big goals and actually achieve them and stuff like that. So yeah, I think once you sit down with people and look at their visions and their values, if they don't already have that in place, once they start digging into that, people actually find that they're more passionate about their business than they actually did realise. Yeah. I think some people have started a business thinking, it's going to change my life, it's going to make everything amazing, start a business and all of a sudden they're broke, they're stressed, they're unhappy, they've lost the passion in what they do, because most people start businesses somewhere because they're passionate about it. Yeah. I was passionate about design and marketing as a hobby. I've then got into that as a business. I know you have your tea room and stuff like that because you're passionate about that and then want to make a business from it, but then if that then ruins your life and you're broke, you're going to lose your passion for that. So we like to try and keep people passionate about their business, share our enthusiasm, look at their goals and work towards stuff together, to be fair.
Okay, so if we're talking about passion, I suppose you've had your ups and downs with your business. How do you maintain your passion personally?
Not just the ups and downs in the business really, it's the ups and downs in life. I think give you sort of the experience to deal with stuff. Like I'm only 22 now, and I feel like I've experienced a lot and been through a lot already for my age. And I think some of the stuff I've dealt with in life, when something goes wrong in a business or someone doesn't return a call, it doesn't seem like a major issue to me because I've definitely been through worse stuff. But I think one of the main things that helps me is I'm quite hyperactive, quite an emotional person anyway. I think meditating and doing my gratitude list and stuff like that actually really do help. I think it's a bit of a cliche bit of advice maybe, but I think if more people actually tried it and took it on, they'd notice a big difference, to be fair.
So why is the gratitude list?
So making a list in the morning or at night or whenever, just things in your life that you actually appreciate and you're grateful for, because we're constantly told we need this, we need that, don't be happy, you're not good enough. We're on people's Instagram feeds thinking our life's shit, basically, but then when you actually make a list of all the stuff that you actually have got, like say you've sort of tunnel vision before, thinking I just need that, when you do the gratitude it sort of takes you out of that. I think realise I've actually got a lot of blessings and a lot of people that care about me and a lot of stuff that I actually care about, but it's not, for some reason it's not cool to talk about being grateful and stuff nowadays. I don't understand it personally, but I'm trying to promote that basically. I've got that tattooed under there, that's the gratitude symbol there.
Oh, okay.
That's the Kaizen one there. Yeah. That's for repelling bad energy. And so, got sort of and that's the Stoics. So that's like Greek philosophy and all stuff like that. So little things like that as well help, like the little reminders to yourself and stuff like that. So I think as soon as I had gratitude tattooed on me, because it meant a lot to me, I'm not going to then forget about it then. Because when I look in the mirror and I see that, I think, you got a tattooed on you, you can't not be grateful. So, well, I'm not saying I'm the happiest, most grateful person all the time, because I go through the same things as other people, the discontentment and stuff like that, and the struggles with the business, but I take the highs with the lows, really.
Yeah, so do you consider yourself like a spiritual person?
Yeah, I definitely say that I'm a spiritual person. Yeah, most definitely. And because to do with we look at things a little bit deeper, like I say with the business, we're not just saying, here's a website, we're looking at people's long-term goals, their visions, their values. It's a lot more deeper and a lot more, you get a bit more of a connection with people. I think everyone who we've done work for, I genuinely want them to do well, because I've connected with them as a person, and you hear about their struggles and their goals and stuff like that, you want them to do well. And I think having that attitude over time is going to make a massive difference, and rather than like, I want a quick grand out of them for a website or something like that, do you know what I mean? Because that is a mentality of a lot of people, whether just in design, marketing or any other business. You've got people who are there for the passion or the cash, but unfortunately passion doesn't pay the bills. Yeah,
and certainly if you're just in it for the profit,
exactly. It's short. You can do that short term, but it's not a long term plan for success. Like I'm on this Kaizen wave now. But
Okay,
so
so
foreseeable future, to be fair, with the music and everything, starting to try and align it all. Rather than me being I do gym, I do boxing, I do music, I do business all over the place. I want it to be sort of like a connected, organised sort of thing, but I'm working on it.
yeah. So speaking of the Kaizen way,
Yeah,
you've named your company the Kaizen Studios.
yeah, most definitely.
So can you tell us what Kaizen means, like to you? Like
Yeah.
it means continuous self-improvement in Japanese.
Yeah,
But can you explain that to people who have never come across the word Kaizen before?
yeah. Well, Kaizen, if you've not heard about it already, you definitely need to research it because it changed my life completely. Because obviously the continuous improvement, it sort of suggests that you just need to do a little bit better every day. And if you're consistent over time, you're going to become really good at whatever you do. Whereas before, I always thought, what I'm good at, I'm good at, and what I'm not good at, I'm not good at. I thought I was doomed for life.
Yeah.
And then I found out about the Kaizen and the reading and doing the bits every day, meeting new people over time, it really does add up, and the improvement compounds. It just adds up massively. But in the business, like I say, we won't want to call it Kaizen because we don't want to just be known for giving someone a website. We want it to be continuously improving, continuously growing, continuously learning and networking. I think if everyone works together like that, then everyone will be a lot better off, rather than being in their little bubbles, which is terrible.
So you use something called Formula K in your business, the 5-step process.
We do indeed, yeah.
Could you tell us about that?
Yeah, Formula K is because we have a specific methodology when we work. We like to look at what they've currently got, where they want to go, do some looking at their competitors in their industry, who are the top competitors, and we like to give people a solution that is the best in their industry to make them stand out. Like we go back to the visions and values from earlier, that's part of the formula, making sure their visions and their values will grab people and make people interested, because otherwise they're not going to stand out. The world's getting busier and busier, more and more businesses, more and more entrepreneurs. Quotation.
It's almost like you can shout the loudest.
Exactly, you can shout the loudest, and maybe it's not necessarily about shouting the loudest, maybe it's about standing out and actually having something that's a little bit unique. And by doing that, you don't necessarily appeal to everybody then, but to a certain amount of people, you will be their number one choice.
Yeah, 100%.
But the Formula K is just our methodology of making sure every time it's perfect, basically, rather than just winging it each time like some people are doing out there, cowboys.
Yeah, and what sort of companies have you worked with?
Well, we've worked with all sorts of companies, from small ones to big ones, really, because that's the beauty of our business, is we're taking someone from A to B. It doesn't really matter how big they are or whether they've got one employee or 100 plus employees, because we've worked with both.
Yeah.
But it's a bit difficult because we like to work with someone who's already doing well and help them do even better, but we want to help everybody, really. Yeah, we work with a company of all sizes, really, but we're trying to now focus on hitting everything locally and expanding it out rather than just doing work for anybody. But we want to work with empowering businesses as well, people who are spreading the right messages as well. When you're starting out, you can't always be picky and choosy about who you have as customer.
Yeah, so you've worked with one-man bands. And
one-man bands, yeah, gyms, cafes, online businesses. We've just built a website for a financial advisor marketplace, so I don't know if you know how Airbnb works.
Yeah.
People can list hotels on there, or rooms, but the person who owns the website doesn't actually own any rooms, they're just listing people's and then charging them. So we've set up sort of an Airbnb but for financial advisors, so people can go on there and list their services and everything like that.
Oh, okay.
For this one guy, so then he's going to control that monopoly sort of thing, but he's going to be able to promote his own financial advisor services on there. Thinking that's going over time, that's going to be a big thing as well. We enjoy working with everybody, really.
Yeah.
Every person's got the unique problems and solutions. I just like getting my teeth stuck into stuff and helping people.
Brilliant. So let's move on to one of your other talents.
Yeah.
MuzzMedia.
Yeah.
Can you tell us about that? What you do?
I can indeed. Yeah, that's basically I've always been a fan of rap music, grime music, anything rap really, basically, and I've always sort of wrote my own lyrics. Started out as poetry when I was younger, and I was at school with sort of like poetry competition. So I've always had like the interest in sort of getting my message across, and I think I like that about rap music and all stuff like that, because it's a bit, you speak your voice, doesn't matter, you don't care what anybody else thinks, you're saying what you think regardless, and I've enjoyed doing that. getting stuff off my chest, but now I'm doing the Kaizen and stuff like that. I'm going in more of a motivational, inspirational route with it, to be fair. And that's where I'm trying to go now, like link up with other people that are wanting to do positive music and empowering music and stuff like that. So I feel like there's a gap in the market for it.
Why do you think there's a gap in the market for positive music?
Because I like listening to the aggressive music, because the energy on it's great, and the beats, the instrumentals are brilliant, but it's not good when you're talking about selling heroin and shooting people and doing all stuff like that. It sounds good on the track, but when you actually look at what they're actually saying, that's not the sort of people you want to be turning into celebrities and glamorizing. I lost the word then. Yeah, glamorizing. It's just not very positive. Whereas I think it doesn't have to be the other way where like it's just all about everything's amazing, everything's flowers and sunshine. I don't think it needs to go that route. I think more people need to be talking about improvement, how they want to improve their lives and all stuff like this.
That's why, boy, but I do this fully. Yeah, I do this fully. You or P, then I'm choosing money. Money, but you say muzzy. That's why, boy, but I do this fully. Yeah, I do this fully. You or P, then I'm choosing money. Can't be defending when I'm doing my sets. Don't talk to me while I'm doing my reps. Used to flop gym, now I'm doing that less. Going in hard till I lose my breath.
The influence of music, you don't really want to be making them sort of people into celebrities and stuff like that. But for glamorising for the wrong things, because people look up to it. I know in the past I've listened to music and looked up to certain people and wanted to emulate what they were doing. And it's took me down some paths that I didn't want to go down, you could say.
Yeah, and it has a negative influence.
Exactly,
on many
a lot of people
who are talented, who can start like a business and and start music for positivity.
100%.
Yeah. So what sort of speaking, going a different route in sort of the music industry?
Yeah.
What sort of feedback do you get? Like, is it? Could you say it's highly receptive? Like, having positive music.
I'd say the route that I'm going down now, the last few releases I've done have been a lot more positively received, to be fair.
Yeah.
But I'm waiting to drop a full EP, to be fair, like the start of February, and that's all the songs I've been working on since I've been following that new route. So I've only really dropped little freestyle videos and stuff with this positive vibe so far, whereas when I drop that, that's actually going to be going on Spotify and Apple Music and all stuff, and I'm going to start trying to collab with people the right way and stuff like that. But because it's over them beats and stuff, I think people have already put that block up in their head saying it's aggressive or it's something that I think people are closed off to it, but I think people are becoming more receptive to it and stuff.
And people just don't know where to find it, I suppose.
Yeah, exactly,
There needs to be like a sort of media or
exactly. Some people have already made the judgments. Yeah. It's a white guy who breeds rapping. I'm not interested. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. But stereotypes.
The stereotypes are real, but I'm alright with that.
You can stereotype, but you can't judge a book by its
exactly. Do you know what I mean? Like what you were saying off camera earlier, I enjoy proving people wrong.
Yeah.
Whether it's the business, whether it's the music or anything like that, people are like, oh, you can't do that, because I'm quite. I don't know what people think about me. I'm just quite an outgoing, I'll chat to anybody type of person, so I think people think I'm not serious when I'm a very serious, passionate person, but I'm not necessarily an angry serious. I can't put my finger on it. But now people will be more receptive to the music, and then as more people start doing it, it'll become more of a thing, and then eventually that'll be the trend if enough people start doing it. Do you know what I mean? Someone like Drake will hop on the wave then, because it'll be the new popular thing. Yeah. Drake will drop some song about the law of attraction or something like that. Like, you mark my words now.
That's never been done, a song on law of attraction.
There you go. But
I know of anywhere. Yeah.
I've got one written, that's what I'm saying, but people don't listen to me like they listen to Drake.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. But you can mark my words, one of them's going to do some sort of song like that, jump on the wave. But I hope so, because it'll bring more light. Successful one brings more light for everybody else, doesn't it?
Yeah, 100%. And it seems like in your music videos you're enjoying yourself.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah. Everything I do because I enjoy it. And if people have got a problem with that, then I don't know how you can be mad at someone doing stuff they enjoy. But people do get really, really mad.
Well, maybe they're not enjoying life themselves.
Maybe they don't enjoy life, but no. When I hear people saying bad things, I do genuinely enjoy it. I want people to feel the need to say stuff, because it puts that sort of hunger under my belly. If everyone said, "Oh, you're amazing," I think you're amazing, and then it just wasn't going anywhere, where it's not reaching the views I want at the moment, and it's not necessarily getting the reception I want, it's making me think, I need to keep working, keep doing that.
Yeah,
It'll come with time. And now I've got the office and I've got the studio set up, so like the productivity is starting to go up. So I'm not having to drive all over the country to meet up with producers, cameramen, other artists, everything. I can invite people through to the office, have like productive music sessions, use my design and marketing to help them out, get their websites going, their covers and everything like that. Just plan on making it more and more of a creative hub.
Yeah, sounds brilliant.
Definitely making progress. It's coming together, but you can only take a day at a time.
Yeah, so moving on.
Yeah.
Tell us about your boxing. How does that help you in life?
Well, basically, I started into kickboxing when I was a little bit younger because I was really overweight at school and I was just getting bullied basically. So my dad made me go on to kickboxing to sort of learn how to defend myself, and I just got into the losing weight, lost some weight, started to be able to protect myself, ended up like beating a bully up who was bullying me up, and then I've never really looked back since. But I'm not a violent person, but it's nice to be able to know you can protect yourself because the world's not always a friendly and sunshiny place. Not always, but yeah, I just like the discipline of it really. Like I get along with people all the time. It's nice to go along for a session where no one's talking, the music's just on, and you're all just beating each other up and having fun together basically, and it's like no grudges. It's just a lot better. It takes a lot of fear out of it as well. Like I don't think I fear people in everyday life because if they're going to kill me, they're going to kill me. But if they're going to smack me, then at least I can defend myself, I suppose.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a discipline of it, to be fair, and like it's sort of like a brotherhood thing. You're there with people you don't even necessarily know, but you're all connected through something. I think it's similar to music as well, and sport. I think sport and music and stuff connect people up, regardless of like language or background. Or I think I've got mates through boxing and stuff who I would never even necessarily speak to if I just saw them in the pub or in the street, which might be wrong with me. But
do you feel as though the discipline of sport has helped you to keep the discipline of business?
Yeah, definitely, because sometimes in sport I think you feel like I don't really want to do it, but you know it's all in the name of the improvement. I mean, in the gym you've got to do that extra set when it hurts, else you're not going to get the gains, you know what I mean? You've got to do them extra 10 sales calls with the business when you don't want it, else you ain't going to get the sale. So I think you look at everything as like cause and effect. If you want a result, you've got to work for it, whether that's boxing, the gym, the music, the business. Like it all the same, you've got to take action to make stuff happen. Without the action, you're just going to become stagnant and die basically. And I think that's some deep inner thing with me because of stuff I've been through in the past. Like I don't want to stop working, I don't want to get stagnant and feel like I'm dying on a deep one.
So, talking about being stagnant, like you exercise the body, and you exercise the mind as well with reading.
Yeah.
Can you tell us like some of the books that you do read to help you in life?
I read any sort of book really, but my favourite one that I recommend, and I'll show you how much use it's had, is The Power of Now.
Yeah.
I didn't just prepare this like Blue Peter, like this is just one I prepared earlier. But like, as you go through this book, you can see it's had hammer basically, notes on it all the way through. But that's a book that sort of teaches you to like enjoy the present moment basically. There's always going to be a next thing, there's always going to be a next thing to fulfill you. It's not always about the chasing, sometimes it's about enjoying the now.
Yes.
I think in the consumer generation that we're being brought up in, you're constantly told you need this, you need that, you can't be happy till you've lost that weight, you can't be happy till you go on holiday, till you get this car, till you use this new teeth whitening toothpaste, and it's just never ending. Whereas if you actually just stopped in that present moment, what are you ever missing?
Yeah, there's no problem.
There's no problem right now. It's all mind-created stuff, and I feel like I've read that book over and over again because that's one book I feel like I'll read it for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
Because I just feel like each time you can read a sentence that you've already read and it says something different to you every time. But no, so that's a good book. Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill.
Yeah. And
I love that book, but then I found out not long ago that there's a version of that before that got removed from publication because it was meant to be like too powerful or something like that, and now I've got a copy of that and I'm reading through that, and it's like four times thicker, and it's so deep. So
is it something to do with the devil one?
No, that's Outwitting the Devil.
Outwitting the Devil.
That's about distraction, isn't it? Think and Grow Rich. yeah, it's like it's the 16 lessons of success or something.
16 lessons of success.
It sounds so friendly, but it's like it's so deep. Like, yeah, I can see why it got removed from like publication. It got removed from publication because apparently the people at the top thought it was like too powerful.
Yeah.
I suppose if every person has that information, it could be dangerous.
Well,
I don't know. That's a grey area, but yeah, that's a deep book to be fair. But no, Power Now I'll recommend over any book. Think and Grow Rich, and then if you don't already like yourself, you need to read a book on self-esteem because self-esteem is important.
Yeah.
So I've been through some self-hatred in my past, and then I think that's why I'm into what I'm doing now, because it's definitely better to like and love yourself and care about yourself rather than being like your own worst enemy who just does everything to self-sabotage. So I've been both guys, and I definitely prefer the one I am now.
So what's the difference between having your self-esteem and low self-esteem?
Everything. It's a difference in everything, from whether you're having conversations with people in everyday life, the business, to the actions you take. Because if you've not got self-esteem, you don't care about yourself, you won't take the actions that say you care about yourself. So you're not going to eat right, you're not going to meditate, you're not going to go to the gym, you're not going to do any of them sort of things. But yeah, self-esteem is the difference in everything, I'll say.
Okay, so can you tell us how you built up to starting the Kaizen Studios? Do you know this, like you said before, you had low self-esteem?
Yeah, definitely. Low, not low, no self-esteem.
No
I was in more rock bottom than you would be able to imagine.
Yeah, so can you tell us about how you built up to be where you are today?
So basically, I've gone down this terrible, I've left school, I've messed all my GCSEs, or I've got like 2 GCSEs. I've somehow got onto this college course, I've left after 2 days, and then I'm just a mess basically. I've gone off the rails, I'm doing all these sort of things, drugs, everything, all this terrible lifestyle, I'm just hating my life. And then one day I was sat there waiting for a YouTube video to load, and his adverts come on before, and Ty Lopez, I don't know if you've heard of him.
Yeah.
And I don't necessarily like everything that Ty Lopez says, but this message come on at the right time. I don't know if it was like, I must have needed that message at the time because I was at a bad place. And he was saying, look at the brain like a muscle, like a six-pack, you got to train it to become like a muscle. So then I've just gradually, over time, I've just stayed consistent to it basically. Get like the tattoos to remind yourself to constantly stay on it. But it's a roller coaster journey, to be fair, but sometimes I feel like I'm making no progress and I'm going backwards, but in reality I'm making lots of progress. So it's about just being patient and persistent, because like I said, I'm trying to do so many things, but there's only so much you can do at once. Yeah. Until it all comes together and like it's going to, I could easily feel like a failure until then and just hate myself, but I don't want to be that guy.
That's brilliant that you managed to 2 GCSEs.
Yeah, I'm terrible. Do you know what I mean? It's bad. Like I've come that far, but like, that's why I want to say to people, like, do stuff you enjoy doing, because if you're looking at society stuff, I should be a massive failure. Do you know what I mean? But do stuff I enjoy, treat people how I'd want to be treated. It's going alright for me, to be fair.
That's brilliant. So I wish you all the best. Like I'm sure you'll get everything. So a question that I ask everyone in successful conversations is, what does success mean to you?
To create a life worth living.
To create a life worth living.
Yeah, most definitely. That's going to be different for each person, but if you don't love your life, then it doesn't matter how much anything you've got. If you hate your life, create a life that you enjoy doing stuff that you enjoy doing, with people that you enjoy being with. It's as simple as that, to be fair.
Okay, so why do you think there's so many people who don't create a life that they enjoy or worth living? If someone came to you, they're down in the dumps, no self-esteem, what would you say? How do you get them to overcome that barrier?
It's a difficult one, because I've said this to people before, is you can lead a horse to water but you can't make it drink. Yeah. You can say to people, look, you need to do your meditation, you need to be reading, you need to be doing this, doing that. You can say that to them all day, but that's just going to make them resent you. They need to hit, I feel like every person needs to hit sort of rock bottom and realise what they do want to do and then create that. There's not a one size fits all answer for everybody, unfortunately, because people don't want to help themselves or don't think they can help themselves. But on a deeper level, to do with societal programming, really, because people are brought up to think that they can't do stuff and that they're not good enough and put into the rat race.
Okay, I'm gonna go deeper now, okay?
Yeah, you can go deeper. I'm a deep guy.
I know you read Eckhart Tolle and you meditate.
Yeah, I'm a deep guy.
Let's go deeper.
Let's go deeper.
Why is life worth living?
Because you've always got the present moment. You can choose to do whatever you want in any moment.
Yeah.
Like I've chose to organise. Well, we've chose to organise this today and have an interview and do that. Like I'm going to see my mate at university in Leeds at the weekend. I'm choosing to do that, and we're going to go to like a rave. I've not seen him in ages. We're going to go through do that. Like, you can create a life worth living. And there's a lot of bad stuff. There's a lot of bad stuff and a lot of negativity. But I feel like you're just meant to live life and experience it. Really, the fact you've been given life, the blessing of life is 1,000,000 to 1. More than 1,000,000 to 1 it is, so I'm going to enjoy it, you know what I mean? So I'm going to be dead one day. One of the songs I'm coming out is going to be called We're All Going to Die. And that sounds like a negative thing, but it's actually a positive one, you know what I mean? The chorus is basically saying, if I'm going to die, then I may as well live.
Yeah. So, what mark do you want to leave on earth?
Just the Kaizen, the continuous improvement, and just a stamp of me, do you know what I mean? I feel like the music and everything else I'm going to do will live on for a bit after I die. But then in the grand scheme of things, I'm just a drop in the ocean. My life's just a drop in the ocean in the grand scheme of things, isn't it? Mm-hmm. But I try and have as much as an effect as I can while I'm here, and then die and then fade off. Basically, I mean that in a positive way. Some people think I'm morbid when I say that, but when I say that, like, if someone's just stressing about something and they can't get themselves out of it, saying, "Oh, but it's all right because of this. It's all right because of this," and then they're just, "No, but I just hate it." And I'm like, "You're gonna be dead one day," and then that shocks people out. I swear, it shocks people out of it, and then they're like, "Yeah, true. There's no point worrying about it." Really, like, that was my number one line. I love it.
Well, one thing's for sure, you can't get out of life alive.
And there you go, mate. There you go.
Yeah. So, where can we find the Kaizen Studios? Tell us about your socials. Where can we find MuzzMedia? Where can we find you?
So the business is kaizenstudio.co.uk. Kaizen Studio on all the Facebook, Instagram, and everything like that. And then the music, you just type in Indigo Muzz on Instagram. Or just search me up. I'll give you the links and you can put them on, and people can check me out. But there's going to be loads of stuff coming, so it's going to be hard not to see me. It's going to be hard not to see me soon.
Yeah, a lot more music coming.
Yeah, a lot more. Yeah, 100%.
And your personal socials?
It's just Lewis Murray. Lewis Murray on Facebook. Yeah, just drop me a message. I'm a friendly guy.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for coming on the show. It's really appreciate it.
As always, fellow young entrepreneurs and inspirational people.
Yeah, it's been very insightful.
Yeah, definitely.
Views on telling us about Kaizen and
yeah. I could sit and talk for hours, mate. Don't worry.
Thank you.
No worries.
Thank you for watching this episode of Kaizen, of Successful Conversations. Please like, comment, subscribe, and share the videos if you want to see more. Thank you.
Well, you can have that. Million in the bank, you can have that. If you get a chance, better grab that. Don't want to hear no back chat. Anything you want, you can have that. Million in the bank, you can have that. If you get a chance, better grab that. Don't want to hear no back chat.
You ready for this one? This one's the one he's been waiting for, isn't it? The one called Kaizen. This gets me excited. The music's just a passion, really. Yeah, it's good, man.
Don't underestimate the power of Kaizen. The grass looking green on the horizon. Never stop growing, let alone trying. Nah, bro, never stop trying. Don't underestimate the power of Kaizen. The grass looking green on the horizon. Never stop growing, let alone trying. Nah, bro, never stop trying. 'Cause life is a challenge, still been laughing from the start. Forget about your problems when you're skanking in the dance.